Welcome to the Mike and JD Show YouTube channel. Thank you for being here. I want you to do me a big favor before you check out this clip. I want you to hit the like button. I want you to throw in a comment and make sure you're a subscriber to this channel. And then I want you to share this video with your friends. Help us defeat the algorithm. And then if you like this content and you appreciate this content, please head over to patreon.com/the Mike and JD Show and support the show. That is how we actually get funded to be able to do this. So we thank you very much for being here. And now enjoy the clip. So the last story I had was just kind of weird. I don't think we're going to be able to speak too much on it because it's probably a little bit out of our depth. But RFK Jr. Has a short list of VP candidates for the Independent Party. And on the top of that list, I'm not even going to talk about Aaron Rodgers because it's not a football podcast, although I could riff about
I thought that's where we were going with Aaron Rodgers.
No, Jesse Ventura. It's a wrestler. We mostly do wrestling. So Jesse Ventura is on there. I just find it hilarious that RFK Jr., like the top two guys, he actually had like some other people. They turned him down immediately. But like the only two people I think that are left that are even being considered are Jesse and Aaron Rodgers. And they're two of the biggest conspiracy theorists on the internet. I'm surprised he didn't ask Alex Jones, you know.
I mean, that's the next step.
Yeah, but man, RFK, I don't think he might be able to take away some votes from people that can become president, but that dude just is not going to make it in the election.
I don't foresee a single Biden voter being like, you know, I was going to vote for the president, but this RFK Jr. and Jesse Ventura, that's speaking my language. What is that? I mean, I have to think that's a very small Venn diagram, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know, when go either way on that one.
Well, I was not aware of Kennedy Jr. before he ran. I was like, I saw the name, like, because I was a big fan of his father.
Who was it?
Yeah. Like, and I think that if he had become president, our world would probably like the 70s would have looked a lot different, right?
A lot different. I agree.
If he would have beaten Nixon. So, and then of course he was shot by Sirhan, right? And so I was not aware of his son. Like I just didn't know anything about the guy, and I assumed he had kids, but I just didn't know about his son or what his deal was. So whenever his son announced that he was going to be president, I was like, well, this is interesting because I know of the father, and I happen to be a fan of both John F. Kennedy and Robert F. Kennedy. So, and then I looked the guy up, and then I hear what he's got to say, and I was just like, you know, if he could just stay away from the vaccine stuff, he might be onto some things. And then he just gets really weird, you know, and it's like, okay, bro, this dude is out there. It's like, would it be cool to see a jacked up, like a guy, like a shredded 70-year-old dude, like that's a Kennedy, who is like an environmental lawyer who actually did really good things for the country as an environmental lawyer. Like, that's all great. Then you see the other stuff. He's like, okay, this guy is weird. And then now it's like, he wants to, like Aaron Rodgers, who is an amazing football player, one of my favorites to ever watch. But boy, is that dude crazy. He's a Packer. I get it.
I fucking hate Aaron Rodgers.
49ers always kick the Packers' ass, so especially in the playoffs.
Not the Bears. Not the Bears.
49ers got a pretty good record against the Packers in the playoffs, so he doesn't bother me that much as a player. And then now, but Jesse Ventura, I like Jesse. I think he's awesome. The only thing where me and him kind of disagree is 9/11. That he gets way too crazy on that stuff. I think he's out to lunch with that. I don't know what the hell's going on with that, but a lot of the other stuff, I'm like, yeah, it's not like that's kind of decently reasonable.
There's stuff about Jesse that I like. It's like I'm talking to people from Minnesota. I know he was not super popular when he was the governor of the state.
Yeah,
that's why he did the one-term thing. I got friends there. It's like, you know, he wasn't that good. Like that's the thing about. It's one thing to run for office. It's another thing to be an effective politician, or not effective politician, an effective governor. Not the word I'm looking for, but effective.
To govern effectively.
I mean, yeah, to govern effectively. There you go. I mean, governor in like small g sense. Like, I don't. The thing with Robert Kennedy is like you say this and you're like, you say, oh, that's a good idea. But the second you put this man on television to speak, it's like it's out the window. Like only the crazy of the crazies are going to listen to this guy. And like it's not going to. And that's what I think that's the plan, is that they hope enough like old liberals like see the name Kennedy and just go, oh, we want this guy. But that's in this day and age, you can't. It's not like The Distinguished. You ever see The Distinguished Gentleman with Eddie Murphy?
Yeah,
you know, that's a movie about Eddie Murphy as a con artist. A state rep dies, and his name is close enough to the guy where he runs and he goes. And the whole act, he was, we're not going to show you anything that Jeff Davis has done because you already know what Jeff Davis can do.
Yeah.
And then he gets elected, and then he winds up having to become an actual governor. And then the hilarity ensues. It's not a bad movie. So, like, I don't foresee that happening with the president of the United States. I don't think it's going to have that appeal. But for sheer like television purposes of all this, why not add one more fucking wild card into this madness that we're going to have this cycle?
I think we need Jesse on television debating like Kamala Harris. Like, I just think we need, and honestly, I think he would eat her alive. I really do. I think Jesse's just like, I think he's just good at stuff like that. Because, you know, he's a radio guy for a long time, an announcer for a long time. And he did like political radio, but she's also a prosecutor. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's a trial attorney. It's not like this is somebody who doesn't not who theoretically can't hold her own. If it's like 86 Jesse, I'm like, you know, maybe you got something. 2024 Jesse, I just don't think he's got it anymore to be that. For the purposes of television, let's do this. But like the thought of those two actually running our country is horrifying beyond all rational thought. You know?
Yeah, I mean, in an era where there's not very many good options, it's like we're gonna add in even like crazier options, you know.
Here we are.
Yeah, here we are. Welcome to America.
Jill Stein gonna run again too because she just loves getting her ass kicked.
Yeah,
loves it.
I know that they're supposed to do something good with those campaign funds they get every time they lose. They can't but I get the feeling that a lot of those people are just keeping that money. It's like, well, why would you keep running and knowing that you're going to get like 1% of the vote? Well, donations and campaign funds, and I'm hoping to, you know, get myself a defense contractor gig.
Kickbacks from foreign interests in some cases, you know, especially Jill Stein's case, like some of her friends in Crimea. Like, it's
that was the one thing that Jesse used to talk about. He was like, he goes, it makes no sense for somebody to apply for a job, the president, that pays you a couple $100,000 a year, and you leave the presidency a billionaire. And it's like, that's typically what happens with those guys.